Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the boulevard in Enterprise, Alabama. And it's starting to get dark outside, so this is going to be a quick one. And what we're talking about is the real difference between the CX-50 and the CX-5. I was on a test drive earlier and wanted to share what the couple shared with me, and I'm going to point out why that matters and how it's different. So let's jump in.
More car vids. More car vids.
When the CX-50 was first announced, a lot of people thought that it was going to be a replacement for the CX-5, which is not the case because this still has a huge market overseas, whereas this is just a North American availability as of now, with exception of the ones being built in China, but not from MTM or Huntsville. They're not exporting those. So the CX-50 is not a replacement for the CX-5 because they're actually designed to fit two different types of needs or wants. They're both all Mazda and both have all the same features and benefits of Mazda, the same focus of driving dynamics, but geared or constructed differently so that they would appeal to different people. So when I went on this test drive earlier today, these customers have a 2012 RAV4, which I know there's been some upgrades since then, but theirs is the 6-cylinder. So that 6-cylinder had a 6-speed transmission. Both of these have a 6-speed transmission. This is the vehicle that they drove, a CX-5 Premium. That is a Turbo Premium Plus CX-50, 6-speed, 2.5, 6-speed, 2.5 turbo. This vehicle, they said, here's the difference between a RAV4, their RAV4, and the CX-5. The first one is a smoother ride. Second one is quieter, which we know, and we'll point out a few features, and not as powerful as their 6-cylinder, not that explosion. Now, of course, they didn't drive a turbo CX-5, which would have given them that power, no doubt, because they did drive this one, which although it's a little bit heavier, but let's just break this down real quick. So we know that 19-inch wheels, a little bit more rubber, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Also, we talked about how quiet these are. This one does have the acoustic glass. Let me see if you can focus on that. The acoustic glass on the front and passenger window and on the windshield. This one also has independent rear suspension. And of course, the 6-speed transmission is just as smooth as can be with Mazda's driving dynamics, including electric power steering and all the other, which we didn't get crazy, but G-vectoring control and all those things. That one has 187 horsepower. The current 2.5 RAV4 has just over 200. This one does not have as much cargo space as a current gen RAV4. This one has as much cargo space, but definitely more than this, and similar to the RAV4, made for an outdoorsy lifestyle. You could compare it to the RAV4 Adventure model. But the customers that drove both of these today say that this 250 horsepower, or 227 really, because it probably has regular fuel, has that punch that their 6-cylinder RAV4 has. However, with the 20-inch wheels, they feel it more in the steering wheel of the grip and traction on the road. Also because it's wider than the CX-5. So this wider track right here gives better stability and feel. Not much wider than the CX-5, but you can see the difference. So a wider track, less rubber on those tires because a bigger wheel, 20-inch wheels. And of course, inside, still quiet, very quiet. Not as quiet, in my opinion, as the CX-5, but it does not have the acoustic windows on the side, and it does have an acoustic windshield, but also you have a lot larger glass panel, and the shade was back on both the CX-5 and the CX-50, so you could have wind noise from up top as well coming in. But these seats are more firm than the CX-5, more wide to give you a little bit of extra room. And which one did they choose? If they were going to buy today, which they were just beginning to shop and get some examples of what they're looking for, would it be the CX-5, the smoother, more comfortable ride, or would it be the CX-50? They chose the CX-50, the husband and wife both, and I'll talk just a minute more about that. Now, could it be also that the CX-5 is a little bit more smooth because this one doesn't have independent rear suspension? Well, we were on road, so you couldn't really tell much of a difference. And of course, both are all-wheel drive, which suit their needs, or would suit their needs. Now, they chose the CX-50 not as much for the fact that it has a turbo and has that punch that they want and acceleration, but more about how the overall feel was, how tight it was, how traction, they could feel that and feel the road more. And of course, the size of it probably speaks to their lifestyle. They do currently pull a travel trailer, do currently do some outdoor stuff, so this speaks to recreation. But that's the real difference between these two. Yes, there's some trim differences. Yes, there's, on these two right here, some powertrain differences, non-turbo, turbo. But the CX-5 is a smooth ride, comfortable ride, quiet ride. Whether turbo or non-turbo, you can get the punch, 6-speed. The CX-50 is still quiet, although maybe not as quiet as the CX-5, but really feels the road and has that wide track, that wide feel on the road, like you own the road. So if you're looking for hopefully now the lights are clicking on because it is getting dark, a quick response of what makes these two different, why are they both in the market at the same time, that's it. More comfortable, cushy, not floating really, quiet, smooth, more rugged, not in a bad way, quiet, space, but also both with a turbo have that punch of acceleration and smooth shifting, smooth ride. That's what the couple chose, the CX-50. What do you choose? CX-5 or CX-50? Now, I will say before I finish it up that the pollen's tough right now. So this one's obviously been cleaned since this one has. But the pollen is tough. We will, over the next couple of years, see more production of the CX-50 in North America. So there might come a time when there's more CX-50s available than CX-5s. Which do you choose? That wraps it up for this quick look at the real difference between the CX-5 and the CX-50. I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise. If you have any Mazda questions or any specific questions about these two product lines, drop them down below, or you can text me at 334-718-0504. I can't wait to see you in either one of these because you can't go wrong with a beautiful Mazda.